Thanks for tuning in to the Unaffiliated Creators Podcast. I'm your host, K.A. Every Day. I got my man with me today. Hey, I had to bring in the heavy hitters to tackle this subject. So if you haven't been living under a rock by now, I'm pretty sure you've heard the Kendrick Lamar diss when he was going at Drake. I think J. Cole was an innocent bystander, but if you have been living under a rock, I was going to play a little bit of the first-person shooter just so you can kind of get an understanding of where I think some of the premise of this diss came from. Then I'm going to switch over and I'm going to play the Kendrick Lamar diss, and I'm going to apologize to you now, P. You know I like to keep it clean on the show, but for some reason, nobody's put out a clean version of the song yet, so the song is a little colorful. I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to clean it up in my edits. So, you might, hear some things in your ear that you ain't heard in a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and apologize to you now. All right, man. So, without further ado, here go a sample of. Let me make sure I got it. Yeah. I got it right here. Hold on. All right, real quick. I don't know if you really could hear that, P, but did you hear anything in what I just played? It sounds like Kendrick should have felt like he was getting slighted, or he should have felt like he was getting dissed from what you heard so far.
So, as an MC myself, you are supposed to say you number one. That is part of the sport.
Exactly. So why would he take that person? From what you heard so far,
it's a gentleman's agreement, right? So if Floyd Mayweather says, "I'm the greatest of all time," or "I'm the best there is," every fighter's gonna say, "I'm the best there is," and the only way to, settle the score is get in the ring. That's the premise of this whole hip hop thing. So let me first, before I get, there's a difference between pop music, rap music, and hip hop, right? So we're talking about hip hop here. So please people don't get in your feelings. Hip hop is a sport. Rap is what you do to make your money, do whatever, get your singles, whatever. Do your thing. Like, hat salutes off to all of those. But we're talking about, we getting real specific here now. Like, this is something that's near and dear to me. This is a sport. Like, when I watch Mayweather versus Pacquiao, that's a ticket seller. Like, people that love the sport of boxing pay attention. So those who love the sport of hip hop are paying attention right now. And we'll get into that later, but ultimately, every fighter in the ring is going to say that he's the greatest. Muhammad Ali said it. Sugar Ray Leonard said it. Mike Tyson said it. All of them said it. The question is, can you prove it? That's the main thing.
All right, well, I'm about to play J. Cole's verse real quick, and then after that, I'm gonna ask you again, did you hear anything in there that warranted Kendrick coming so aggressive with his diss? And after that, I'm going to play Kendrick diss. Hold on. All right, so I don't have to play no more. So you pretty much heard J. Cole's verse. He go on to say some other stuff, but from what you heard, from what I just played, is there anything in there that you feel that J. Cole was taking a shot at Kendrick?
No, he made his stance. He the GOAT. J. Cole said he the GOAT. Kendrick say he the GOAT. Ain't no big three, it's just big me. So, I mean, all of them say the same thing. They all said the same thing. So, I mean, when you start getting into the specifics of the diss, where Kendrick started talking about the stick and, for my dogs is trash. Now, he never said that Forest Hill Drive was trash or any of the art that J. Cole put out. He know better. He know better because it's on the same.
So he was taking a specific shot at Drake.
No, when he was talking about the stick, he was actually talking about J. Cole. But even still, like, this is a sport. Like, this is like Las Vegas when they get in front of the crowd and they showboating, man. And they got the press before the big fight. This is what that is.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, look, I'm old enough to remember them Don King fights back in the day when they had to sell the fight and they was doing all the promo. They selling
the fight.
Yeah. They selling the fight.
But to go back to a conversation we had earlier today that I think is very important, that this moment right now is trying to bring the sport back, right? So when you think about before, when Tyson fell off, sport got a little dry, with boxing. And then here comes Mayweather, right? So Mayweather electrifies the sport again. Like it gets a new vigor, right? Like both J. Cole, K.Dot, Drake, they all been doing albums, but this is the sport. This is what everybody runs and go get their popcorn for. You haven't seen this kind of like excitement since like Jay and Nas. Like this is the repeat, but it will, and that's a good point that I'm about to make. So when you got Takeover and Ether, right? Everybody's ooh, but what eventually happened? Them two got on the same, on the same team, on the same page. Who been?
Yeah, because I think when they was doing, they got to a point where they both recognized game, and they was like, you know what? They respected each other's greatness, and it was like, you know what? Job well done. So now that we didn't both prove it to the world that we both at the top of our games, hey, let's just join Voltron and let's really do this thing.
But you didn't get a joint Jay-Z Nas album. What you got was 2 verses on a record. That's what you got. And I know they had rumored to have a K.Dot J. Cole album, but I think in the end, when all the smoke clears and everybody's had enough and everybody's gotten back to the excitement, you'll get a J. Cole and K.Dot record. After they squash everything. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, it's like wrestling, man. Like sometimes this stuff ain't real. Like and then I feel sorry for those in the rap. Now, I think I said this earlier, but I don't know if I want to go as in detail as I said. But when God, dog it. Hold on.
Hey, my man had to take a quick pause for the calls, but while he stepped out...
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I kicked the quote out, but...
Hey, man, don't be getting so excited that we got to be kicking stuff, man.
So,
hey, man, like you said, it's just a sport, man. It's just rap, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be in there kicking stuff.
What happens is everything.
Hey, now you must have really kicked some because now it look like all the lights turned out on you. Hey, man, this beef getting crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? We cutting off cameras. We cutting off lights, man. They got money messing with my man's setup. Look, somebody don't want us talking about this, but we going to knock this out today. But while he getting this stuff squared away, I just wanted to let the audience know on J. Cole's verse, really the only thing that he said, in my opinion, that I think that Kendrick could have took offense to was the part when he said, it's like the Spider-Man meme with me looking at Drake. And for him to say that, basically, he cut Kendrick out because, if everybody that's, that's seen the Spider-Man meme, it's 3 guys kind of standing in a circle and they all pointing back to each other. So for him to say Spider-Man meme with me looking at Drake, okay, so where's Kendrick and all that? So I think that's probably the only thing that J. Cole could have said that I see that Kendrick could have took offense to.
I still think that ultimately, what the sport is bringing back that some people will lack. Give me a quick second, homie. Take over real quick.
All right. Hey, look, man. Look, I'm used to doing these by myself, man. So I can jump in and now it's like double dutch. But yeah, like Prince was just saying, man, at the end of the day, man, it's just hip hop. And this is the essence of hip hop. I mean, you can go all the way back into the early 80s. I mean, cats was, beefing back and forth. They would have ciphers. But back then, when they calling it beef, but a lot of times back in the day, the cats were battling each other face to face. There was no, hey, I'm just going to run in my studio, record a song, and then you're going to record a song at your studio, and then we're going to put the song out and let the general audience decide who they felt won. They was like right there basically touching nose to nose. Y'all know the Back in them days.
Yeah, we back. So ultimately, man, the sport is coming back. Those who don't really, because some people, I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. If you ain't got bars, sit down. Take a step back. Take a deep breath. This is for grown-ups only. You know, the bubblegum stuff, get your money. This right here is a real sport. And careers are ended in this sport. Like this is not, and I do believe that Drake, he either has to address it or step aside. That's the way this works. Like, you don't get to just, I'm the greatest and don't fight nobody. That ain't how that works. And I think everybody today on Facebook has seen the memes. Drake that had a bunch of nominations, but Kendrick still ended up with the most Grammys. So
I think he's gonna have to step aside because I think he's smart enough to know that he ain't gonna be able to go to toe with Kendrick. So the only thing he can really hang his hat on is the fact that he done sold more units, songs, more streams, made more money. Oh yeah, I'm a billionaire, all of that. Other than that, man, if we just talking about lyrics, man.
He got away from the art. Like Kendrick is art. Like those albums are art. Cole's albums is art. Drake's album is, great for what they are, but, this is a different kind of art to this level. That's like me saying, who would you say was a popular rapper? Okay, I got it. It's like Ludacris going against 3 Stacks. That's retarded.
You said Ludacris going against who?
3 Stacks. You got a more mainstream artist, and then you got someone that is just a student of the game, and just the art is just there, that loves the art of this. And I think Drake gonna have to step aside if he don't respond. This is different than the Pusha conflict, which I don't think he didn't really want that either. I mean, Push gonna come with it. He came with it.
Yeah. I still haven't met a person, talked to a person, or anything I've heard online. I still ain't heard nobody saying that Drake won that one. I think that was a unanimous loss.
Yeah. I mean, because Push, he know the art of it, right? So regardless of what the content is, the art that he put into I didn't seen this man put that art in. So, hey, all I'm gonna tell you is, if Drake didn't want that one, he definitely don't want this one. This G.O.A.T one ain't the one, cause
Yes, that's a whole nother. What you always tell me is levels to this.
That mop up might not come back. I don't even think M want it. M don't even want it. And I'll tell you like now, I mean, before Drake even get to Kendrick, he got to worry about J.I.D, bruh. I keep telling you, I study these cats, man. He the next one. He the next one.
So when J. Cole finally decided to hang it up, he gonna pass the torch to his protege Jid, and Jid gonna keep it going.
And I love Cole, but he might want to step aside too. I'm just
All right, man. I see you. You about to start talking crazy. So before I just let you just go start running wild, man, I'm about to go ahead and play this Kendrick verse real quick, and then then we can finish wrapping this thing up as far as how we feel about this. Hold on.
He said, if you carry a big
Woo.
stick, just know it. I mean, it ain't 3 stacks.
Gosh almighty. Again, I'm gonna ask you, man. You've been in this game longer than me, and you know you way more, seasoned, and you know all the lyrics and wordplay and all that. I'm not even a rapper. Again, I just gotta ask you, what in the world did you hear in first person shooter that made Kendrick want to be that aggressive on that diss track?
He won't gonna let 2 other people say they're the greatest and not respond. That's basically it. Had he been silent on that record, it's almost like he let it ride. Because, truth be told, Big Sean got in his feelings about this. And he still hurt. Big Sean's still salty about the Control verse. Right? Jonah Lucas spoke out. Like, you see the ones that are truly into the sport come out and talk about it. And that's what hip hop needs. And once again, it's between rap, pop, and hip hop, 3 different things. All different. All I respect it all. But I notice sometimes people that do the other 2 lanes get offended because they want their lane to be respected as an art form but it's different kind of art. So they gotta understand that. This is for the big this is for the grown-ups. You remember when you was a kid and the grown-ups get in the other room, might have a drink, glass of wine or something, playing cards, and you try to run in there, they be like, no, go sit in there, go watch the cartoons with the kids. There's grown folks in here. This is grown.
Yeah, it's grown folks.
This grown folks in here, bro. There's grown folks in here. You gotta.
All right, man. So I hate to do this to you, but I'm gonna nail you down. I think I know your pecking order based on the conversation, but I'm just gonna ask you just so everybody clear. So when we're talking about the big 3, these 3 gentlemen, what order do you put them in? Like, who would you say would be the first, second, and third?
Out of these 3.
Out of these 3.
All right. I'm going to do Kendrick, Cole, Drake. But I really wouldn't put Drake in that same boat with them 2.
So you saying you would just remove Drake altogether, put G.O.A.T in there?
I would.
And based on the conversation, you almost making it seem like you think G.O.A.T get Cole.
Yeah. I mean, it's he don't have enough time in the game yet. He got a little bit more time, but hold on.
Now you good. But basically, you saying the young man's a problem, and basically he gonna be a problem in years to come. If I had to put him in order, I think I guess we just feel differently about these gentlemen. I think J. Cole would be first. I think Kendrick would be second. I think Drake would be third. I don't even think of Drake when I think of lyrics. Again, I think he can only try to attack this from I make more money than you. I don't know if he wanted to brag about how many women he done been with and all that other kind of stuff. But when it comes to just lyrics, I don't think he really got a shot. Only thing he can try to say is, hey, I'm going to beat Michael Jackson record for being the biggest selling artist, most songs, number 1 songs and all that stuff.
I mean, but ultimately, man, it come down to the art. So let me ask you, who would you put in Drake's slot? In that big 3? Would Drake be in your big 3?
Not even close. I'm almost getting to the point now, and I know this probably gonna sound crazy to some people. I don't even really consider Drake a rapper. I mean, I think he fit more of like a pop artist, or I mean, I told you, and it sounded crazy to even say this when I said it, but if you go back and listen to the song, you hear what I'm saying. When you go back and listen to that song, No Guidance, with him and Chris Brown, when I first heard it, I really couldn't tell a big difference between him and Chris Brown. The only reason why I knew who was who is because Chris Brown had a higher range in his vote. And I know Drake couldn't hit them high notes. But other than that, if you listen to how it sounded, you really couldn't hear a big difference on who was who.
I would tell you that, I'm way fuzzy. That G.O.A.T and Kendrick are better singers than Drake.
G.O.A.T and Kendrick are better singers than Drake. Yeah, there might be some truth to that. I think what Drake, and I'm not even saying that Drake's a good singer. I think he's just, and I know it's just kind of crazy now as you think about it, that him and Future doing whatever this little beef is that they got going on. But I think Drake learned a lot from being around Future and being around people like Party Next Door, that he kind of mastered the coming up with a catchy melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best singer, but he is good when it comes to coming up with like a catchy melody and just kind of hot. He do just enough to make it hot, but he ain't really singing, if that makes sense.
I mean, I get it. But once again, though, you don't want that smoke, though. Smoke is just like, it could be problems. Because then you get...
And from some of the stuff I'm hearing and seeing online, they making it seem like this verse that Kendrick just dropped is just a warm-up. They making it seem like he can go way crazier than that.
He could.
And they making it seem like he probably got some stuff in the tuck that he can run. They say Kendrick will win just because he can do the long game. Like he can like really last like song after song after song. Even if Drake respond, Drake on it ain't gonna be able to keep up with that kind of pace.
Because I'm telling you, K.O.A.T studied 3 stacks. When he finished Good Kid, Mad City, he said in the interview, the first person he went to was 3 stacks. He was like, yo, bless this. Like if I don't get your blessing, this I'm not worthy. That's crazy. So,
and they ain't a bad person to get it signed off.
I mean, but and the reason why he respect him, like, because he know that 3 Stacks was a martyr, right? So he died on the cross to show that you could be different and still be one of the greatest. You didn't have to just all do every, boom bap record that came your way. You didn't have to sound like New York. You can do whatever you want to do. Whatever's in your head. If it's dope, it's dope. It's music. And I don't think Drake want that. Drake doesn't have that level of artistry to his music. Vocal arrangement alone, K.O.A.T got him. Just song caliber. I mean, and like I said, I like Drake. Take Care was dope, super dope. But I would say Take Care probably a give Section 80 a run. But the mother, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad, which, to be all fair, I couldn't get into that one with K.O.A.T. But everything after that one, and only because it was just politically charged. And I wasn't there with him on that one. And I'm still having, like, I play his stuff, and that's one album that I skip. you know, I'll say that. Cole, the K.O.D. album lost me. He had me up to the K.O.D. album. I couldn't figure it out. Then there was like a couple of tracks. The Revenge of the Dreamers or the Dreamville joint, that was kind of dope. I like that. The DJ Drama joint, that was dope. But by then, Jid started to come into his own, and then it's like now I'll just listen to Jid, like, and really try to get into. You know, I'm part of the sport too, so you know I like to hear what the young boys be saying. You know, and I ain't even in competition. I'm just a spectator. You know.
All right, well, I hate to cut you off, but this thing about to cut off on us, man. I appreciate you jumping on here, tackling this topic with me, man. Hey, y'all be good and stay safe.
All right.